Beshem Hashem Naseh v'Nasliach. This morning is Chaf Gimel Shevat Tav Shin Pe Dalet Haba Alinu Letova. We're having another Limud Chasot. This Limud Chasot is dedicated for Haslacha of all the Yehudim, Refuah Shalema of all the Choli Israel, all those who need speedy recovery, especially for Yaakov ben Dinah, Shlomo ben Miriam, Nejatullah ben Tavus, Navid Elazar ben Malka Fereshte. Should be Haslacha for all the Yehudim, Moshe Musa ben Nusrat, Daniel ben Imam, Michael ben Imam, and all the Yehudim Be'ezat Hashem. Okay, we want to talk about the topic that is very actually. We want to talk about the topic that is actually very important and is related to this week's parasha, Parashat Yitro. In Parashat Yitro, Moshe Rabbeinu, as we know, Moshe Rabbeinu had two sons, and the parasha tells us that Moshe Rabbeinu named his first son Gershom. And it's interesting that the pasuk explains why. So the pasuk says in Perek Yud Chet, pasuk Dalet, pasuk Gimel, Ve'shene banei asher Shem ha'echad Gershom, that Moshe Rabbeinu had two sons, one of them Gershom. Why? Ki amar ger hayiti be'eres nochriya, that I was a stranger in Eres Nochriya, referring to where he was living by Yitro. And so, in this Ma'amar, in Pele Yoetz, Harav Eliezer Papa Alav Shalom explains that the person needs to always consider himself a stranger. Ger. Ketiv gerim anachnu al haaretz, in Divrei Hayamim, refers to Am Yisrael as Gerim. Uchtiv ki ger anochi imach. In another place in Tehillim, David HaMelech says, ki ger anochi imach, like a stranger I'm with you, referring to HaKadosh Baruch Hu, that Hashem is with us. V'zeh kelal gadol bekor hayahdu. This is a big concept in Judaism, that really a person needs to understand that we are not here to live forever. Wherever we are a stranger. We are a guest. Right? We are a guest, and therefore, when we are making our homes, when we're planning our lives, it shouldn't be for the temporary living that we have here in this world. Right? Now, as Harab Papo goes on to explain, that the person needs to understand Lanon baderech bekol hamagmato tihye al haolam haba ki sham beito. The person should sleep where he's traveling. He sleeps. He doesn't care. He doesn't have to have all sorts of luxuries and comfort. He goes. He sleeps. The point is he's resting there, as it's a well-known story of Chafetz Chaim, Alav Shalom, that one time a very rich person was by Chafetz Chaim, and he noticed he had this simple chair and a simple table, and he wondered. He told him, where is Rob's belongings, household, the what you need in it's so simple. He wondered. And Chafetz Chaim told him, where is yours? Where is your belongings? And he said, I'm just traveling here. I have a wonderful palace, like a palace, a big house, and everything I have there. Very nice. So Chafetz Chaim told him, I'm also here a guest. And this Olam Hazeh is the Perusdor, as Pirkei Avot teaches us. That is the hallway to the Olam Haba. So Harav Eliezer Papo explains, Alav Shalom explains וכל מעשיו יהיו לשם שמיים, ובל יוסיף על מה שהוא מוכרח לצורך חפצי שמיים. That everything you do needs to be for the sake of heavens, and what you adding has to be in order to get closer to Hakadosh Baruch Hu, for חפצי שמיים, for עולם הבא. אף על פי כן דרכו של היצר הרע שמראה כל המותרות כאילו הם הכרחים גמורים לעבודת השם יתברך. Now what the Yetzer Hara evil inclination does, he comes and says, oh, you working for your olam haba, no worries. Right now, if you're going to have this, or sabzi or steak, children, whatever you're having is for the sake of olam haba. Now you eat, you become strong, so you could do avodat Hashem much better. But the truth of the matter is, you don't have to have all that food. Right? You could have a little less and keep yourself awake on Shabbat, right? And then learn Torah, do avodat Hashem, right? Or Yetzer Hara comes tells you, you must have a good car, otherwise it's chilul Hashem. The halacha is that a Talmid Chacham needs to be dressed with the nice clothing. The Gemara says in Masechet Berachot, right, a Talmid Chacham should refrain from wearing a shoe that has patches, right? Because it's not the kavod of Talmid Chacham. So this Yetzer Hara comes tells you, that's why you need to work hard. You need to work hard in order to afford, Tesla, right? Is kavod Torah, right? Harab Ovadia Yosef Alav Shalom got a ride in BMW. They say very fancy car. Somebody donated, right? That's what they say. That's what somebody donated it. So you too, you are a Rab. You are a big Rab. You need to dress in a chashuv clothing, and then he has to work so hard for that. Right? That's not says Harab Papa Alav Shalom. That is not the right intention. One should not follow that advice of Yetzer Hara. אבל צריך דעת יתרה להבחין בין הכרחי למותרות. You need to understand what is the absolute necessity and what is permissible to you. What you don't really need. ושלא ללך אחר הסד ישרו. Don't go after the advice of your Yetzer Hara. Adborehu Yetzer Hatov lechaperot. Till your Yetzer Tov comes and examines, is this really necessary for me? Right? So many people, they're saving so much for their children. Is that the Torah? They don't get to learn Torah. They don't get to work on their midot. They don't build their olam haba.
Wow.
Is that what Torah wants? Obviously not. No. Hashem gives parnasa to zan u'mefarnesta kulam. Right? The children will be raised properly, and Be'ezat Hashem, when they become grown up, they find the job they need, the parnasa that they need. Hashem will help them. Right? That's what the poskim, the halachic authorities say. Right? This is a big concept. That which you want to do, right? Hashem will help you. You will be dragged to it, right? Hashem will, not only Hashem will help you, also that which you have in back of your mind, right? The all sorts of malachim and all sorts of other forces will drag you to it. So instead of having the wrong machshavot, have the right machshavot, and Hashem will help you. So many times the person comes and says, okay, that which I gained, right? I gained it with my 10 fingers, right? With a lot of work. She'im loken mehechan haiti musti hausad halalu. From where are these beautiful house and car and wife and children would come. No, it's not your work. It's Hashem. It's Hashem's blessings. Right? ואם ירצה האדם לעשות תורתו קבע רוב היום ומלאכו ארעי מובטח לו שהוא יחסר לחמו מחסורו אשר יחסר לו שכבר הבטיח שהוא נותן לחם לכל חי רצון. Now if a person makes the avodat Hashem, limud Torah, Torah and mitzvot, ikari, the main focus of his life, then HaKadosh Baruch Hu will make sure that whatever he needs to sustain his family, what the necessities are to be provided, that he shouldn't have, he shouldn't lack things, absolute necessities would not be lacked, right? And he will have that which he needs, right? As our Chachamim teach us, right? That HaKadosh Baruch Hu is the one, noten lechem lekol chai ratzon, that Hashem gives bread, He gives sustenance to all the beings, right? So now, our Papa Alav Shalom goes on to explain, Umash sobel adam torach v'sar v'amal, that which a person takes a whole lifetime, hard work, sa'ar, worrying about this investment, that investment, all that. Is that all worth it? Right? Is that all worth it? Is that going to get you closer to Olam Haba? Right? Or no, you're going to be distanced away. Right? When it comes to somebody, right, he invites you to do a mitzvah. Right? Let's sponsor this event. Let's do this mitzvah, that mitzvah. Let's get this avrech sponsored. Are you going to rethink about it? Or are you going to say, no, of course. I have the money Hashem has given me. I have it. Let's do it. Thank you so much for giving me that opportunity. Right? Many times when we come to rethink about the mitzvot, that's not the Yetzer Tov, that's Yetzer Hara. Because Yetzer Hara wants to stop us to make a difference. Right? שמהטבע של עולם הזה בטל ואכלו את חוקם ועל העוונות ובשעים וביטול תורה ומצוות וכדומה. That this, right, our Papa Allah Shalom explains the essence of Olam Hazeh, this mundane world, is that it's most of the things are batel, right, are just ways of getting us away from Hashem, from the Ikar. It gets us involved, now today is this new cell phone I got that I need to work on, I need to spend time on it to get to learn how it works. Tomorrow there's another new cell phone comes, right? This gadget, that gadget, so many things that gets us distracted and we don't really need, right? But Avinu Arishon, now our Papa Alav Shalom explains, right? Learn it from our forefathers, right? Abraham, Yitzchak, Yaakov. Learn it from Yaakov Avinu. Yaakov Bechish Avod. Yaakov Avinu, that was the chosen among all the Avod, that he became so perfect that HaKadosh Baruch Hu, right, gave him the Shevatim, the 12 tribes. Lo sha'al met Hashem, ella lechem le'echol u'begel lilbosh. That the only request he had from HaKadosh Baruch Hu was to have bread to eat and clothing to wear. Ukevar amru atana, as the Mishnah writer Tana Radushi says, Kachi darka shel Torah. This is the way of Torah. You want to become a Talmid Chacham? This is what you need to do. This is the recipe of becoming a Talmid Chacham. Somebody like Harab Ovadia Yosef Alav Shalom, Harab Moshe Feinstein Alav Shalom, right? Pat b'melach tochal u'mayim b'mesurah tishteh v'al haaretz tisham v'chayei sa'ar tichyeh u'b'torah ata amal. That you need to have, bread and water, and if it gets to it, you sleep on the floor, right? And you accept the hardship of life, right? And you work hard to learn Torah, to perform mitzvot. That's what is brought in Masachet Avot. Right? Perek Vav. והן אמת שבדורות הללו אין אדם יכול להוכיח לחברו על דבר זה ולא מה לו. Now, the truth of the matter is, it's very hard to give such a tochacha to someone. To give a rebuke to your friend, go sleep on the floor, go have bread and water. They think you're crazy, right? You think you're insulting them, right? But what can you do? You could explain to them. Look at the Gedolim, how they lived, right? The Aman, and tell them, look, really, between water and wine, if you choose water, right, it's much more healthy, right? And they say, what about sleeping? You know, there's all sorts of these mattresses, you know, with a number and this and that, right? But the doctors tell you, if you have backache, go sleep on the floor. That's what they say. Sleeping on floor helps with backache. I don't know. Maybe
firm mattress.
Firm mattress also.
Not the floor. The floor.
I tried it. One time I had backache. I tried it. I slept on the floor.
You slept all the way or just?
No, I put a blanket, right? But it helped me in the morning, right?
Right.
Right? The truth of the matter is not only lechem, right? You also need the vitamins, you need this and that. But what is the focus? The focus is not the vitamins. The focus is not, the extras. The focus is that you need to sleep, you need to eat in order to have the energy to learn Torah and do mitzvot. Right? That should be the main focus. וזה אמת לפי מה שהורגלו נעשה לנו הכרחי. Find that which is absolute necessity for you based on who you are. Right? For somebody, right, getting into a plane and traveling and having a first class seat means when he arrives, the rest of the day is not going to be wasted, right? He's going to have koach because he was able to be comfortable in the plane, and this way he has a whole day ahead of him that he can take advantage of it, right? So see, that which you need is absolute necessity. די מחסורו אשר יחסר לו ואפילו סוס לרכוב עליו ועבד לרוס לפניו, as it says in מסכת כתובות, right? דף סמך זין עמוד ב', if you need a horse, right, to get you from places, right, or you need Eved, that the servant needs to run in front of you doing that which you need, but you know that is your absolute necessity that you need in order to be a Eved Hashem, no problem, have it, but don't fool yourself, right? אבל זה אין הקדוש ברוך הוא נותן לאדם אלא לפי מעשיו, שאם זוכה נותן את אוכלם בעיתו, שכל אחד לפי מחסורו. Now, the truth of the matter is, HaKadosh Baruch Hu gives you that which you merit to have. That which is good for you to have. So if you don't have something, don't blame yourself. Right? It's not good for you to have it. Right? HaKadosh Baruch Hu is give you that which you need. ומן הסדרה כעובדה, some people they get the sustenance from sadaqah money, right? או באותו עני שהיה רגיל לסעוד, right? בתרנגולת פטומה ויין וישן אין שם, as מסכת כתובות says, that ani, that he was always used to have chicken, goose, right? Right? Before he became ani, he used to have it. Now he became ani. He was ashi, right? He used to have it. Now he became ani. The Gemara tells us people need to get together to get him goose again. He used to have yain, right? He can't just survive with water now. No, he got used to it, right? Yeah, that's what because that's his absolute necessity. Now it's very hard to change it.
I think the Rav the Nasr's Rav that he came to ask for that,
Yeah.
and the Rav says, "Well, I don't need it myself.
Right.
You get it." He says, "Well, this is what I am used to."
Used to,
And
right?
then his sister comes, and he hadn't seen him for longest. He brings him a dish with a goose, and then he says, "Oh, it's for you. It's not for me. You give it to Ali."
Right.
So he says because Shaman proves that this is you're used to this what you're supposed to do.
Hashem got him.
Yeah.
Right. Right. אבל אם אין לו זכות תולה כדי שיתנו לו מתורתו, למותרות. Now, if a person is not zoche, then HaKadosh Baruch Hu is going to give him from his portion for what to come. Right? That
Mutarot means here, I think it means extra food.
extra food, right? That's the that is going to be deducted from his what to come if it's not absolute necessary.
No, I think what means is mutarot means like what you exactly what you're saying.
Yes.
Beside the food that necessity is something extra over there. It's called mutarot.
So he gets that if he's zoche. If he's zoche. No, it says in lo zechut. If he doesn't have zechut, then he's going to get
mutarot. No, if he doesn't have to get it, that's what he's saying. So usually you're not supposed to have the mutarot.
Right.
But sometimes Hashem gives because the person
He was zoche.
is zoche.
So you could get the extra if you have the merit.
Right. Exactly.
But if you don't have it, then
just
don't suffer. Don't
live with it.
live with it. Right. Now, وبيد آدم نهرگیل تبعو معت لیستبق بمواد. Now, this is very important concept. It is up to a person to help himself to get used to bare minimum. Right? Is whatever you train yourself, whatever you get yourself used to, you get used to it. Right? So why you wanna get yourself used to luxuries? Right? It's not recommended. ולהיות מסתפק ויפה לו. A person needs to be somebody that is happy, right, with bare minimum. Right? bare minimum. ואם הוא מסתעל, כך היא חובתנו. And if it's difficult for him, well, that's our chova. Our chova is not to indulge in luxuries. וכך נאה לנו לחיות חיי סעד. It's better for us to live חיי סעד. They bring from Arav Salman Musafi alav shalom that he never accepted any favor from anyone. And there's two ways of living. One is like Shemuel Hanavi, that Shemuel Hanavi alav shalom used to travel with all his utensils and food and everything. He never asked favor from anyone. And there is another way, living like Elisha Hanavi alav shalom, right? That he was okay getting help, right? So some people go according to Shemuel Hanavi, some people go according to Elisha Hanavi alav shalom. They are both correct. Our Papa alav shalom says over here that get yourself accustomed to bare minimum, right? And the Torah val avodah val churban bet hamikdash ubitul Torah avodah, and this way, right? You work yourself up for Torah, for avodat Hashem. Right? That which you do is going to build the bet hamikdash. It's going to take away from bitul Torah, right? So that's why it explains here. Go and learn from our forefathers. That all the time when they were living, they were strangers. Right? Even in Eretz Israel, right? They had to go from place to place. Right? And they didn't indulge in luxuries. They didn't go after enjoyment of this world. They lived in tents. Right? They didn't have a house. Right? And they had to go from place to place. וכשביקש יעקב לשב ושלווה, when Yaakov Avinu wanted to relax right? In our language, to retire, right? All of a sudden, all the hardship of Yosef Sadiq started, right? There is no retirement for Dina,
Yosef.
all sorts of them. Take care. Babas alam rugzo shel Yosef Sadiq, right? Kol sheken, how much more so who are we, right? If they went through all that hardship, right? And we have so many abunot, chas v'shalom, and Hashem help us. Baminan. Umano chal la'olam haba. What is going to be with our world to come? Right? That's what we need to ask ourselves, and we need to work hard. Velo yabe torach liyot kereach ki gorem lo liyot mikan kerach. That we need to work hard to be velo yabe korach liyot kerach. It shouldn't be increasing.
Kerach is a ball.
Bald, right?
So if you do it so much, then you will be bald from doing this. So
yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
So it's there is always two yoke. One is the yoke of Torah. One yoke is Torah of another yoke is the Olam Hazeh and the yoke of the mundane. So or Malchut, right? We have the all of Torah or Malchut. So we should. Right, so we need to choose Torah. If we choose Torah, then Hashem will take away the all of Malchut and the Derech Eretz and all the difficulties of hardship of working. Right? Now, we see it from Gedolim. Arav Ovadia Yosef Alav Shalom, he was so poor, right? But then he became, Baruch Hashem, he wrote Sefarim, he became known, and he became very rich. And he was able to bring parnasa for his family and making sure that they were all comfortable. And so they say, Nar Haiti Gamza Ganti Vero Raiti Sadiq Reza. Who says that? Shlomo HaMelech. Shlomo HaMelech teaches us that I was a Na'ar, I was a young, right? And I became a Zachen, and I never saw anybody to be needy. It's Shlomo HaMelech, right? No, my mistake. It's David HaMelech. David HaMelech and Tehillim, right? David HaMelech and Tehillim teaches us, right? Aval mi shehu kiger ba'olam hazeh, a person who considers himself like a stranger in olam hazeh, yivneno ba'it ne'eman la'olam haba. He will build a trustworthy world to come in olam haba. Ki ahub lemala, and he will be blessed, and he will be beloved by Hashem. Shaharei bishloshim shisha mekomot sibeta Torah al ahavat hagel. Right? That in Torah HaKedusha, in more than 36 places, commands us to love a girl, right? Right? To love a stranger. והקדוש ברוך הוא כביכול הוא הראשון מקיים כל התורה כולה. If you make yourself like a stranger, then you have these promises, 36 places in Torah that you need to love the stranger. HaKadosh Baruch Hu Hashem, who keeps the Torah, as if to say the first one, he will love you. He will get your needs, right? He will provide you with your needs because you tend yourself to be the girl, to be the stranger, right? You are a girl, you are a stranger. והוא גר לתת לו לחם ושמלה וביד כל אדם לעשות עצמו. So HaKadosh Baruch Hu will give you the lechem and the clothing, right? And it is in your hand. It's in the hand of every mankind to make himself a stranger, right? And this way, ואל יבקש ללכת בגדולות ובנפלאות. You shouldn't ask to go in the ways of, right, become an important person, or somebody who needs niflaot, who wants, right, extraordinary miracles happening to sustain him, right? ואם אחר כך יעשה לתרבות רעה, יהיו, ניהו, ואפסי, ושכר מצווה עומדת now if a person came, right, and chas v'shalom lo alenu, he went after his evil inclination, right, he got himself involved with too much business, too much investments, right, too much getting dragged away from world to come, then unfortunately he is going to lose the reward of the mitzvot, right, and that which is going to stand with him forever and ever, the olam haba. So we need to choose. It's either olam hazeh or olam haba. We can use olam hazeh to get to olam haba, right? This olam is the hallway. Right? The best example is whenever a person is invited to a wedding, right? There is hors there is this room on the side. What are you doing? Are you going to get yourself so much focused with the hors d'oeuvre, with the food before the main course,
Buffet.
and buffet, and looking at the pictures in the hallway, the main khatuna, the chuppah is in the other hall, right? And then by the time that you realize that you missed the whole the main event because you were involved with seeing the pictures of the hallway or enjoying yourself with the hors d'oeuvre with the buffet. So goes on to explain. I just going to summarize this, right? That we need to be very careful because there is a lot of forces against us, but we have to choose Chaim. We need to choose the real Chaim, Chaye Olam Haba, and Be'ezat Hashem, if we make ourselves a ger here in this world, that we are a guest, we are a stranger, we are just here temporarily, and therefore we don't focus with that which we don't need to focus, then we'll have the world to come. Be'ezat Hashem, may HaKadosh Baruch Hu help us that we be masliach in becoming a ger, just like Moshe Rabbeinu that chose one of the names, his firstborn, he chose it as Gershom to remind himself that he's always a ger, just like he was a ger in Misraim, right? He's a ger here, right? He is a ger by Yitro, even though that there was no danger to him by Yitro, but he reminded himself, I am a ger here too, right? Not to become too comfortable. So we shouldn't become too comfortable, especially in Galut. Right? We are here in Galut, we are surrounded by 70, right, wolves, right? 70 nations that unfortunately they not necessarily want us to see prosperous, right? To see that we should be successful, right? Baruch Adonai Leolam, Amen, Amen.